Well, it's a rather windy night here in Dublin. I suspect she'll have a bumpy ride when her plane lands at Dublin Airport very shortly, and potentially a bumpy reception too. This is, in a sense, some dinner diplomacy that we're seeing this evening. Necessary, many would say, because the relationship between Leo Varadkar, the Irish Prime Minister, and Theresa May, the British Prime Minister, has not been great of late, given, of course, the tensions over Brexit and the Irish backstop. And also, it must be said, relationships between Britain and Ireland have been somewhat strained after decades of people on both sides trying to improve those relations. Now, be in no doubt, Dublin are insistent, though, tonight will not be about negotiations. Yes, they will sit and listen to what Theresa May has to say, but there will be no formal talks on any alternative arrangements or any possible way around the impasse of the Irish backstop, simply because Dublin have always been insistent that talks have to take place at an EU level. Negotiations are not between Dublin and London, but rather between London and Brussels.
But a lot at stake for Ireland here, and Mr Varadkar met with Northern Irish leaders earlier today. What came out of those talks?
Yeah, interestingly, Leo Varadkar was in Belfast today. Actually, even though Brexit clearly was talked about, the main focus of those talks was trying to restore government to Northern Ireland. The Stormont Assembly has been all but suspended for the last couple of years, and what Leo Varadkar was trying to do was trying to reignite talks between the two parties there, the DUP on one side and Sinn Féin on the other. Interestingly, though, several senior cabinet ministers have apparently told the BBC tonight that they fear, in the event of a no-deal Brexit, essentially the UK crashing out of the European Union at the end of March, that would greatly increase the chances of a poll across Ireland on the prospects of a united Ireland, something the DUP slapped down. But interestingly, that question of the future of Ireland and indeed the United Kingdom is being opened up because of these Brexit negotiations.
So after her visits to Belfast, to Brussels, now to Dublin, Mrs May has little more than a promise of more talks. So what can we expect when she goes back to MPs in Westminster next week?
Well, I think almost certainly, Jeanette, at this stage, unless there's a miracle in the next couple of days, another rejection of her deal. As you say, it's been quite a testing week for Theresa May, bouncing between different European capitals. She has got that victory in the sense that negotiations will start again on Monday between the UK Brexit Secretary and Michel Barnier, but it's unlikely we're going to see any substantial or substantive progress by next Thursday, when there is going to be another vote on her deal in the UK Parliament. As I said, that is most likely to be rejected. But interestingly, it is almost the second vote that will take place next Thursday that will be interesting, and it will, or it looks likely to be, a vote on ruling out a no-deal Brexit. In those circumstances, if that what Parliament does do, rule out a no-deal Brexit, I think that will provide some comfort, of course, to the European Union and indeed to people here in Ireland. But of course, the question then is, how do you make that actually happen? Because as we know, the legal position is that the UK are due to leave on March 29th unless there is an alternative deal to put into place. So politics still incredibly fluid, Jeanette. Talks will continue, but at the moment, the impasse on the Irish border seems as intractable as it has been over the last couple of months.